Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609, Marble Falls, Texas, at H-E-B grocery store, and I'm just leaving. If that's not what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about is these smartphones and what my choice is on the smartphones. As you know, some of you know, I've been using an LG G4 for a long time to do all of my videos on YouTube. That is everything, the driving videos and everything. And I have a little iAudi holder, dash holder, and in the dash of my Ram truck, and that's what I'm using now. And we're fixing to turn to the right here. This is Highway 1431, if I don't get run into. I got here just in time for the parade, but be that as it may, I did get the LG G7. It's called a Thinq or Thinq. I got it yesterday morning about 11 a.m. and I proceeded to set it up. Yo, what a bump. I proceeded to set it up. Got it all set up by 11:30 or ready to use. I didn't put a SIM card in it from Verizon because I wasn't sure I was going to keep the phone, which turned out to be a smart plan. But anyway, the difference in the phones is this. The LG G7, which I'll refer to in the future as 7, and the LG G4 as 4, so we're going to compare the 4 and the 7. You got it? So anyway, the 7 is a little taller and a little thinner, narrower, all right? Now what does that do? Well, what it does is the print on the screen, even though I've got it on the large setting on the 7, is not as readable or legible as it is on the 4, okay? So the width of the smartphone does make a difference in legibility. So you old folks like me, 74 years old, that have to squint a little bit to see stuff, be aware of that. Get the wider phones and not the taller phones. Anyway, so after I got it all set up, I plugged in the microphone. I thought, well, I'll do a video like I'm doing comment call here at my table in my Casita RV. And I did. I just did about a minute talking, and I had the mic out and hooked up and everything. It does have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the 7. And anyway, I plugged it in, plugged my mic in just like I plug it into the LG or the LG G4, and did a 1-minute video and watched it. And the only thing, it was a reasonably good picture, but there was no sound. You know why there was no sound? Because you had to have a special adapter to make the mic work with the LG G7 Thinq. Well, that is not worth crap, because I had asked that question before I purchased it. Will it work with an external mic? And the answer was yes, it will. The external mic will work. Didn't. That was strike 1. Strike 2, I was told that even though the battery is a 3,000 milliamp battery, the same as the LG G4, that it would last longer because of some super duper software that they have on the 7, the LG G7. Well, that turned out to be poo-poo also. The phone, the battery did not last any longer. And if you hear some squeaking or popping in the phone, it's not the mic or anything. It's I isolated that problem. It is the iAudi phone holder, dash holder. When it'll rattle a little bit sometimes, and you'll hear it in the phone or in the mic or in the video. But anyway, enough said about that. So where was I? Anyway, the video, the mic. Let's see. You got to have a special adapter. What else? Of course, the cost. I paid like $90 for the LG G4 delivered, and it does have a very good camera and sound and so forth, because I've never had any complaints. So the next thing I did was, holding the phone in your hand, it feels okay, the LG G7, but it's kind of a little slippery, so to speak. I don't know why, but it's really slick on the back. But the reason I was aware of it because I'm a little older, and I thought, well, hell, I don't want to drop this thing. And so that was it. But strike 1 was the mic. Strike 2 was what? The screen width. The width of the screen made the print on the screen a little harder to read. So that was kind of strike 1.5, I'll say. Strike 2, I actually went out. I did a video sitting down, and since I couldn't use the mic, I thought, well, maybe the sound quality is going to be okay without the mic. Well, it isn't. It sounds a little what they call tinny. I don't know what that actually means, but it actually does sound a little tinny on the 7, the LG G7. So that was kind of strike 2. You add up all these little half strikes and you get strike 2. And so I thought, well, I can get an adapter and make the mic work. It costs you about $10, and I may have to use it with some other phone if I decide to get another type of phone later on. So I was debating that. I thought, well, I'm going to go over to Verizon and get a SIM card. But on the way, I thought, well, I'm going to do a driving video, and see how that works. Well, I'm glad I did, because, man, I don't know what it is, but I did a driving video. I watched it on the phone, of course, and it would make you dizzy watching it on the phone. I don't know what it is, man. So I checked the settings. I went to LG and I checked some different things about the phone settings and stuff. And the settings I had it on were basically the manual. Well, they don't call it stabilization. It's another word for it, but they have it there. I had that turned on, and but it wasn't near, in my opinion, the quality of the LG G4. I mean, the skies didn't look blue. They look kind of grayed out. The clouds kind of looked funny. The trees, as you were passing them on the sides of the road, kind of looked like the camera was trying to focus on every leaf, and it was really weird. So that was strike 3 and 4 right there, because if I can't do videos sitting down at home and I can't do videos driving, then is this phone going to work for me? No. And then also the battery life that I was assured that was going to be so great isn't, because what I did was, I got it about 11. I got it set up by 11:30. I was using it and testing it from 11:30 till about 3 p.m. And in that short time frame, just doing a few videos, testing and playing with it, looking at some settings and stuff, the battery, when I got it, it was 100%. That's unusual. So that tells me it probably wasn't a new phone, because usually when you get a new phone, the battery might be 30, 40, 50%, but I don't think I've ever gotten a brand new phone that the battery was 100%. Now, I could be wrong on that, and maybe some of you have some input on that, but that's okay. Didn't matter, but I just was a little suspicious of that. But after about 3 hours of usage for what I was doing, even though I took a break I had lunch and I took a little nap and responded to the comments, so my actual usage time couldn't have been more than 3 hours, and the battery was already gone from 100% down to 55%. And I'm thinking, there's something wrong with that, because even my existing phone, even though I've gotten a new battery for the LG G4, they're not that good. The refurbished, the batteries you get, the replacement batteries are never as good as the original. But anyway, it seems to be working okay. So bottom line, at about 3:30, I had already made the decision yesterday to return the phone. So I went to the eBay thing and said I wanted to return the phone, put in the reason, it basically didn't work like you said it would. And they sent me a return thing label, which was USPS, U.S. Postal Service. You might as well send it on the back of a snail. But, so I got the label in my Yahoo mail account, went to the drop-off place, the little package drop-off place, and I had all the original packaging from the USPS. And I went in, and they printed out the label, we stuck it on there, and she said, well, if you want it to go out today, you need to take it to the post office and drop it off. Luckily, she said that, because when I took it to the post office, they informed me that the package that it was in, it couldn't be returned like that with that label on there, because it had to be returned first class. So you had to have it in a first class envelope thing. So I said, okay, do you have some? Yeah, and they had some, so we got that squared away, and we took the label off, or we put the whole package in the envelope, took the label off first, put it on the outside of the envelope, and they charged me $2.19 for the envelope, because you don't get bargains at the U.S. Postal Service, or I guarantee you, on envelopes. So or anything to ship in, you better get it somewhere else, or they're going to nail you. Well, they nailed me, which is okay. I was glad to do it. At 3:57, we completed the deal, and the thing was, done, ready to go out. And well, actually, it was right at 4. It was about maybe 4:01 or 4:02, and I got to the exit door. It was locked. And so I came back around. I said, well, y'all got me locked in? And she said, no, we lock the doors at exactly 4 p.m. every day. I said, well, what if you got a customer that comes in? And they don't. No, they lock them. If you hear that, you're probably going to hear a little clicking in the mic right now, because I hear the stand kind of clicking a little bit. So if you hear that, that's what that is. And I'm not sure how to resolve that issue, because on rough roads, that thing shakes a little bit. Let me move over in the other lane. That might help. This right lane is really rough. But anyway, we got the package returned. Everything worked out all right. So what can I tell you? All I can tell you guys, if you have an LG G4 and you're using it for your main operating camera, you ain't going to find a better one, or I haven't. I tried a Pixel 2. I tried a Pixel 3A. I've tried the LG G7 now. That's 3. They all have good cameras, man, but they're like overkill. I mean, they're great for taking selfies and photos and stuff like that, but as far as videos, forget it. And all these extra features they add to get to the Google Assistant, in my opinion, is totally not necessary. Because what the G7 Thinq has is a dedicated button on the left side of the phone that you press, and you will instantly access the Google Assistant. Well, I guess if somebody is in love with the Google Assistant, then that's necessary. But for me, on my LG G4, I have a little icon. I just tap on that, and that's the Google Assistant. Does that work for me? Yeah, works fine. And then the Pixels, you squeeze them. Okay, you squeeze the phone, and it'll access the Google Assistant. Well, I think that's just silly. You know what I mean? Because what'll happen is, and it happened with me when I had the 3A, I was testing it, is I would pick it up, and if you don't set the firmness of the grip to turn on the Google Assistant, every time you pick it up, or if you feel like you're going to drop it and you kind of squeeze the phone a little bit, here comes the Google Assistant every time. Okay, I'm going to move over again, it's too rough. So what else can I tell you about phones? I'll tell you where we're at now. They've tweaked these smartphones to the point that they will do everything but mop your house. Okay, and to stay ahead of the game, you got to have a little tweak, one more tweak than your competition. So you got Samsung out there, you got Apple out there, now you got Google Pixels out there, and they're all trying to out tweak one another. And the software on the Google camera is super great. The downside of it is, I guess you can adjust it. There's ways to go in and adjust it to make it work. But I tried it, and again, I remember people complaining, because with the Pixel 2, when I did the videos, people said, man, it made them dizzy to watch the video. And it does. It made me dizzy to watch my own videos. So having said that, we've done with the verdict on the G7 is guilty as charged, and you go to home. You go back home thing. So what else can I say? Let me look here and see if I made any notes. Yeah, the sound was tinny, videos were shaky, the battery ain't what it said it was, and the mic requires a special adapter, which I think is poo-poo. It'd be like buying a car. You get a hell of a deal on it, and then you find out you got to put an engine in it. Oh, it doesn't come with an engine. Yeah, well, no, you got to have an adapter for that. Well, that's kind of stupid. But enough said. So what am I going to do about phones? Just keep the one I've got. The only complaint I have, which is really silly, is Of course, I did notice this too on the LG G7. It has an 845 Snapdragon processor, and it is super quick. I mean, it's smooth, and much quicker than the LG G4. That's a plus for the 7. And I tested upload speeds, even though both of them were using the same Wi-Fi. My hotspot from Verizon, they were both connected through the Wi-Fi. And I would do speed tests to see what the download and upload speeds were, just to see if that processor made any difference or whatever made any difference. And every time the LG G7, the download and upload speeds were significantly faster. So that is a plus for the G7. But it isn't going to do you much good to upload a video really quick that looks like crap. I mean, yo. So having said that, guys, we're going to end the video because I'm turning into the sun. And that's another thing. I turned into the sun yesterday using that G7. Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, guys, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye, bye. Buy anything you want. No, yeah, buy anything you want. But if you think about it, there is a link to Amazon products in the description of all my videos. What else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 links. Jesus Christ. 3 or 4 quarts per day will not hurt you. It will actually be good for you because you will be full of water and you won't want to eat so much. It'll also help you avoid gout and kidney stones. It'll do that. And what else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in really deep. Hold it for a few seconds and then breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure, or lowers stress, and that lowers your blood pressure. Is that good for you? You got to know it is. What else? Stretch, walk, exercise your body once or twice a day. You'll never regret it. What else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Do not let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. Do not let anybody dump trash into your consciousness. Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your life. Beautiful day here in Texas right now. It's 77 degrees, perfectly clear as you can see. So adios amigos, till next time. Bye-bye.